10 are about Hanumat Maharaj and Sri and Hiranyakashipu. And the last 11 to 15 are about answers and questions about Varnashram. And chapter 1 asks about how Krishna can.
You can put me.
Okay. How Krishna can be equal to everybody. Because Krishna reciprocates with all of our different attitudes. Gopis suppose Krishna out of lusty desire. Okay? Shishupal was always blaspheming Krishna. But Krishna reciprocates. That's his very special feature. And because of that, we develop a relationship with him. Probably the same thing. He would irritate people until they would never forget it. And they would start thinking. So then, to explain this, there's a story of Shishupal, which Yudhishthira directly saw. This happened. That Shishupal, who was blaspheming Krishna, got the destination that even the great yogis desired. And of course, what's the history of Shishupal? In his previous life, he was.
Previous life is basically, Ravana.
And the previous life before that he was. Yeah, the previous life before that he was. And all his lifetimes he had this animosity towards Krishna. So this is the story. And then it explains how Rama rescued the earth from these monsters. And in the process he killed Hiranyakashipu. So, in the process, he killed Hiranyakashipu. And this made his brother, Hiranyakashipu, very angry. So he wanted revenge. He wanted to kill Vishnu. There was one black drama back in the 1960s. It was pretty popular. It was good. It was a stage play thing. The title was, "Honey, your arms are too short to box with God." Honey, your arms are too short to box with God. So that's Hiranyakashipu decides he's going to kill God. Yeah. So who's Hiranyakashipu's brother? Hiranyakashipu, right? So Hiranyakashipu was Ravana, okay, and Hiranyakashipu was Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna was small guy, good looking. No? Huh? Yeah, he was Cyclops. It sounds too loud to me. Turn my hearing aid down. Yeah. I think it was a Cyclops. Good guy, gross. He wasn't kind of mean, he was just really gross. And every single time you see that, the combination that always Ravana and everything else, very calculating, Hiranyakashipu and Kumbhakarna, they're all just gross guys, just want to have a gross enjoyment. So, Kumbhakarna had a blessing, he would sleep, right, the entire year and only wake up every now and again, so he was sleeping. But they were losing the battle with Ram. So Ravana said, "Go wake up Kumbhakarna." So finally they woke him up with great endeavor, and he came there, and it's like somebody just woke up, very irritated. And Ravana, his big brother, explained to him what had happened and how he needed his help. Then Kumbhakarna said, my esteemed big brother, you are a fool. Well, what do you mean? He said, first, you kidnap the mother of the universe, and then second, you declare war on God. Yeah, this is stupid. Stupid. Yeah. And so then Ravana is feeling a little depressed, and he said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll straighten everything out." So anyway, then Hiranyakashipu was killed, big guy. What was he killed by? A giant red pig with a stick. Okay, yeah. Killed by a giant, right? Red pig with a stick. Okay, it's kind of insulting, right? Yeah, he was killed by Bruce Lee or somebody. More Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, with a trotter, finished him. Hiranyakashipu wanted revenge. There had to be some revenge here. He wanted to kill Vishnu and then take Vishnu's blood and offer it to Hiranyakashipu, who was very fond of drinking blood. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And then he declared war on the demigods. It wasn't going well. Indra and everybody else defeated them. So then he decided, okay, I have to get more firepower. So he went off to do austerities, you know, and all the rest of the demons were dispersed and everything else. And he did this austerity of standing on his toes with his hands raised there for a long time, doing that and stuff. And what happened? Yeah, the ants came and they had ant hill around him. They ate his flesh. Yeah, but he was maintaining his energy within his marrow, Spanish medulla. Yeah, the marrow of his bones. Yeah, that's what we do. Sometimes you feel bone tired. Ever done that? You just work so hard. It's just you can eat, but it doesn't refresh you exactly because you're just exhausted down. Yeah, the prana goes to the stomach and finally in the marrow, and he was maintaining it there. Yeah, it's a fact. Yeah. And then he got benedictions from Lord Rama. I want to become immortal, right? And Brahma said, hey, look, I lived for a long time, you know, but hey, even I'm not immortal. Ask for something else. He said, well, can you promise I won't die inside or outside? And Brahma said, yeah, I can do that. Can you promise me that I won't be killed by any of the, whatever is it, 8,400,000 species of life? Any of them? Yeah, I can do that. I won't be killed in the sky, or on the land, or in the water. Yeah, I can do that. Hey, yeah, this is like a lawyer, right? This is a lawyer's way to. This is we're signing the prenuptials here, or whatever it is. Like I promise. Yeah. What else did he get? I won't be killed by any weapon made by man, any kind of weapon anybody makes, because they got Vritasura with Dadichi's bones. Yes, they made weapons out of those. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And one more. Neither inside nor outside. We got that.
Day or night. The day or night. During the day or during the night.
During the day or during the night. Yeah, it's daytime now, right? Is it? Yeah. It's still up. So don't try and take on Hiranyakashipu now. You may have noticed today was a very difficult day. He's been having problems. Don't get instructed. Yeah, I noticed that. It's just Hiranyakashipu's in charge and everything is just for him. Yeah. So anyway, but then he conquered the whole universe and the apsaras were all forced to dance for him. Everything else, Indra's throne, demigods had to hide, of course, serve him. And so, but then Narada Muni says, and then he had four very qualified sons, very nice sons, of whom the foremost was Prahlad Maharaj. But a great enmity developed, and Hiranyakashipu tried to torture him in so many ways, and in the end tried to kill him. So then Maharaj Yudhishthira asked, well, how can this be? How can a father have so much bad feeling towards his own son? So then he tells the whole story about how Prahlad was born, when Hiranyakashipu went off to do austerities. His wife, what was his wife's name? Ayadu. She was captured by the demigods and they were going to hold her in captivity until the child was born, and then they were going to kill the baby. This is the demigods. Yeah, they don't sound much better than the demons, right? Yeah, kill the kid. Infanticide. Yeah. And what did Narada Muni tell them? Narada Muni told the demigods, You won't be able to do it. He's a great devotee of Vishnu. Oh, really? And they believed him. They accepted. Okay, then what happened then? What did Narada Muni do next? Yeah, took her to his ashram and then took care of her and gave her assurance of protection. And then he began to instruct her because that's the greatest gift. You know, Arjuna had to face very, very difficult situation. Right? Shankaracharya says that Arjuna had to face this very difficult situation, the battle of Kurukshetra. You know, Dronacharya with the gigantic army of the Kauravas was like the river, just flowing, wow, roaring, wow, was taking away trees and houses and everything. That was Dronacharya, okay? And then Arjuna had to cross beyond that, okay? And then on both sides, once you get in, you can't get out because both sides of the river, very, very high banks like that. Who was that? Bhishma. Yeah, so Drona is the roaring river and Bhishma is the banks. Yeah. Prabhupada says that in comparison to Bhishma, Arjuna was a fig. He was nothing in comparison to Bhishma. Yeah. Okay. And then there are various crocodiles and sharks in the river, horrible monsters. And who are they? Karna and other people. Before the battle started, what's his name? Duryodhana asked Karna, he said, hey, everybody knows this whole thing, forget all the rest of the arrangements, comes down to one thing, right? A duel between you, Arjuna. So forget all the nice talks and all this kind of stuff. Can you defeat Arjuna? And Karna said, I'm faster than he is. I'm more accurate with long distance shooting than he is. I have more control over divine astras than he does. But when the divine son of Devaki is standing on his chariot, everything becomes unpredictable. So Duryodhana said, okay, let's do it anyway. So that was the sharks. And finally in the river, there was one whirlpool that was just sucking everybody and everything to their destruction. A powerful river, gigantic banks, horrible feces. Arjuna had to pass over all of this. And the whirlpool, who was the whirlpool? Duryodhana. Only one person wanted this whole thing. Duryodhana. And so then Shankaracharya says, but you, O Krishna, became the man to take your devotee. This is coming from the Supreme Emperor. No. So behind them all, they're devotees. Devotees. So then he takes birth as Hiranyakashipu, does his austerities and conquers the universe and is enjoying life like everything. But then Narada Muni is instructed. Okay, yeah. So then, what did Krishna give Arjuna in the battle of Kurukshetra? Did he give him a super weapon? What did he give him? Knowledge. Yeah, knowledge, perspective, attitude. So yeah. So same way, Narada Muni, she's connected up here. Narada Muni was getting this gift, and Kayana was so exhausted and everything else that she wasn't to be able to take too much of the success from it. But right in the womb, right? That doesn't. Prahlad says start your education at the time of birth, but we're saying everybody no, before birth, everybody's having their education before they're born. Started then. And so he was understanding everything, appreciating it. So from very, very birth, he was already inclined to, attracted to, stimulated by the worship of Hari, Allah, Jehovah, Supreme Person, the all-powerful, the all-knowing, the cause of everything. They're all saying the same thing. And so then, of course, he went to school, right? And then he came back one day and his father said, oh, what did you learn in school today, Prahlad? Well, I learned how to make paper dolls. I learned how to, I was expecting something, cute. Oh, that's nice. You're doing nice things in school. Showed me, okay. Yeah. But then he said, did he say Shravanam Kirtanam? A second time, yeah.
First
He
time.
was saying, yeah, everybody should worship.
Yeah, that's Sadhaman, yes.
Okay.
Involved part.
Everybody should take the dust of the great sadhus on their heads. And they should give up this attachment to household life. And Hiranyakashipu was hearing this, and he became angry.
No, he laughed.
He just kind of laughed and I oh, and somebody's look at the teachers. One of your kids is teaching my kid this stuff in school. Okay, yeah. So they went back and they were asking who did it and everything else, and then he went on studying demon craft. They brought him again this time. This time he said Shotman turned him.
Yes, the second time.
Okay, second time. And then Hiranyakashipu was terrible. The teacher said we never taught him this. So I think that's when he decided he should be killed. And he tried so many ways to annihilate him. Stuff, elephant stepping on him. What else? Everybody can only get one way of. Everybody here suggests how to kill Prahlad Maharaj. How can we kill Prahlad Maharaj? I'm going to start off and have an elephant step on him. Okay? Snakes biting. Huh? Throw him off the Twin Towers, off the entire steeple. Cliff part. Huh? Poison. Fire. Drown him. Bindi chindi. Cut him, pierce him. Okay, so they were all trying all imaginable ways to kill him. What was the result? He was just chanting Hare Krishna, and then Hiranyakashipu became more. So he said, okay, we're going to employ the most lethal, powerful, guaranteed method of killing somebody. We're going to send him to public school. Nobody has ever survived this. I even heard professors, teachers talk about that. Yeah, talk about that. Yeah, but it didn't work. So then what happened? Then when all the professors were not having lunch, what happened? We started teaching to all of his schoolmates. So even in public school, you can even there, best place. Why not? We were one devotee, Chandra Das. You know Chandra Das? Black devotee. He's a psychologist in the something Snake River Federal Correctional Facility. It's on the border of Oregon and Utah. So we would go there from Boise. And to get in, you have to do one or two things. Actually, three things, but really two. You have to murder somebody, or else rape somebody, or it would also accept arson. And sometimes you try to accept burn houses. Okay. Yeah. So when you go there, first off, they take a check to make sure you're not a criminal. Maybe five of us went there for programs because Chandra was the prison's psychologist and could go in and do programs. He had a club, Hare Krishna club, people there. And one of them was an initiated devotee. He must have, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so we went, and they gave us a thing to hang on our belt, and if we were being attacked or something like that, we pushed that, and the squad was released. They come with, get air missiles and everything else. You're careful, guys. and as soon as we walked in, my mind is realizing there's no way out. It isn't like you can go through the back door, or you can climb through the window, or you can crawl under. You realize that every single possible way of leaving here is blocked. And what if there's some clerical error and they decided actually I'm a criminal by some mistake in the paperwork? And it's really consciousness. We come to the temple and there's also these prisons. And everybody there was big. It was like most people were big people. To be a murderer or a rapist or an arsonist, you better be big. So we're talking about this. Oh yeah, ways to kill people. Yeah. So we did the whole program. It was good. It was good. And a lot of them were, you can see everybody's devotees are everywhere. And a lot of them had very good realizations and kirtans. And one guy said, we're more fortunate because we know we're in jail, right? And people outside, they're in jail, but they don't know it. And they think they're doing cool. Yeah. So very good realizations, nice kirtan. And they wanted to start growing Tulsi. And Chandra's help, and then, yeah, said, okay, start growing your plant and stuff. And so different programs, successful programs. So on the way out, he took us to visit the chaplain, the government priest. He was a Catholic guy. And we went in there, and they had a library a little bit bigger than this. And they had Divine Light Society books, all the Hare Krishna books. It was amazing because everybody donated all their books for free to prison. And because the prisoners had a lot of time, they had an incredible system set up of checking them out and taking them to people and all this kind of stuff. So incredible library. And so we were talking with him, and he said a few days ago, one of his friends on the outside had asked him, "Oh, Father, if I wanted to learn about God, where should I go?" And he said he was thinking about it, and he realized the conclusion was you should go to prison, right? Because you try and talk about God anyplace else or learn about God, can't talk about that here. They said in prison they're encouraging you to do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, they sent Prahlad to school, didn't work. He came back, he was still talking about God and all this great, was it Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Adasevanam. Where are you? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Adasevanam, Arjuna. Yeah, you should know. And it's not like boxes. Our German mentality says you are Shravanam or Kirtanam or Vandanam or Ashanam. It's more like a curve. I heard this from his name from Ria Mama. Devotee left his body. Also, same thing. Okay, so maybe you're, Shravanam, Kirtanam. No, that's Shravanam. Yeah, okay, that one. Adoshvada, Sadhu, Sangha, Marjan, Kriya. That's the one. The other one too is a different one. These are the 9 processes, but any one of those you can be a Doshvada, Sadhu, Sangha, Marjan, Kriya. Okay, but that's it. Nabangavati, the universal definition. Okay. So, and then also, so his father asked him, where did you learn all this? And he said, Matir na Krishne parato swato va, batopi pajeta grihavatanam, adanta govir ishikam tam vishram, punapunas charvita charvaranam. Maybe just three verses he answers about where I learned this. And Nasvartatim he Vishnu. It's in the same place. Always very, 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 very important verses and concepts in this area. It's kind of the modern world. So Prahlad Maharaj is this whole story is very stimulating. It gives us the perspective. And the preface to the Srimad Bhagavatam, which Prabhupada wrote, establishes our movement. Prabhupada only gives suggestion for one preaching project, one kind of preaching specifically. Yeah, no? Yeah. Colleges and universities. Yeah, this should be taught in all the schools, colleges, and universities. So very much in favor of educational approach and ways to introduce it. And again, you can introduce it like Prahlad Maharaj, indirectly, different times, different ways. Pantheism, that's the first step in God realization. I'm the shark, I'm in the ocean. So many ways but that's where one very, very important focus for our work. Schools, colleges, universities, establishing our own, establishing our program. So he told him, Matirna Krishna, my dear father, you want to know where I got this knowledge, but it's just, you're not, because you're dedicated to enjoying yourself in Grihastha ashram, kind of more sophisticated. You're not, it doesn't matter if I tell you, or a committee of people tells you, or you try yourself, it's going to be incomprehensible to you because you're pouring water on the wood. pouring water on the wood. How do you expect a fire to start? Yeah. So you got to give this up and stuff. So Prahlad is, he says, my dear demon father, my dear father, king of the demons, in the past there have been many other fools like you. Does your kids ever tell you that way? You're a fool. I mean, this is pretty direct. But if you hear it, there's no enmity. He's not saying it like insulting fashion. He's just saying it like, this kind of way we always translating it, fool, yeah. So do you think he expects his father's going to say, "Oh my God, you're right. I've been such a demon. I apologize. Let me correct my mistakes." Yeah, maybe not, but he's hearing it, right? Yeah, he's put it out in a very clear fashion so anybody can understand. His father can understand it, and maybe not now. Maybe in the future. So sometimes our preaching we don't expect, right? We don't expect people are going to surrender everything else. Prabhupada says it's very unlikely. You know? So most of the people we're preaching to will become devotees in the next lifetime. Because when you die, I would say when coming here, I had maybe the worst air turbulence I've had in my life. Actually, I think it was second worst. Worse than that was when we were going from Argentina to Peru many years ago. It was so bad. We were going over the Andes that at one point it was like the airplane was like a big hand just took it and just like pushed it down, not just like falling, but pushing and turning. The stewardess hit the ceiling and she was walking, and then came down and hit her ribs on an aisle thing, and they had to, get her off. Imagine what it's like all of a sudden, just like you're sitting there and the plane goes like that. Yeah, yeah. So this was the same coming here and everything else, and bouncing around. Yeah. So I was, I was chanting anyway, but then when that happened, I started chanting more. More. What's the word? Scrupulosamente. Yeah, scrupulously. I was chanting, and everything in my body's reacting, and I was, keeping in there and keeping the Maha Mantra. Realizing how I still not, I got a long way to go in terms of chanting and everything else. But other people were a lot less self-realized than I were. Some little kids were screaming and everything else, and looking at their parents. And the steward was going along, and he said, "Oh, don't worry, it's just turbulence, happens all the time. It's fun." And the little kids are okay. We're at the amusement park. And later on, I saw him walking around when he thought nobody was looking, and he was. Yeah, he didn't look like he was. Even I don't know how many times they go through that stuff in a year. Yeah. But anyway, even though the fact the wings are going like this outside, we will have time here. I'll tell the story. I was going from Florida to Germany to India, changing planes in Germany. And it was leaving late at night, so it arrived in the morning. There was Air France flight, it was KLM, German Airlines, and Lufthansa, and American United or something. They're all out there in this big international terminal. And around Florida, around Miami at that time, I mean, there were 4 hurricanes, surrounding at one time like that and stuff, bad weather. And one by one, the announcement was made, all passengers of Air France, you're gonna buy the Krishna book now. You're gonna buy a Krishna book. Every time your cell phone goes off, you have to buy a Krishna book. Oh, horrible, it's horrible. Yeah. I'm more. Vaisheshik is a killer. I, I come up with the ideas, and I invent a little crossbow. He turns it into something else. What happens? So many actually full set distribution was our idea. Gita Jayanti was our idea celebration, and then he just turns it into mass production. Yeah. So Air France, all passengers come to your desk, pick up your hotel things, flights canceled. What do you call it? United Airlines come to your desk, cancel it. What's the other one? American Airlines. And our Lufthansa guys, they weren't canceling. So I asked the person behind the desk there, does the airport make the decision? He said, no, it's the pilot, you know. So the German guys, they decided, you know, Fritz, we're going to fly. So we got on board. It was, what was it, 767? What the one?
The big one?
Yeah, the big one. It just come out, you know. I mean, the engines are almost as big as this property. Not that big, but they're big. I mean, actually, look at them. Two of these gigantic engines, and we're getting on, and you know, the pilots were Fritz and Gunter, and all the stewardesses had their hair and like this kind of German, they're all blonde, big with hair like this, and we're all getting on board. So I was next to the window, and there was a man and his wife, and she was next to me, and she was afraid of flying. Okay, you know. So anyway, we took off, you know, and there's a hurricane over this way with lightning and everything else, and you know, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz flying in the air, and over here the Twin Towers flying in the air. No, it really was just like rain flashing and everything else. He's pulling out to the runway. Flight 477. If you want to, you are cleared for takeoff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I started going up, you know, and this guy was you know, it was the new 747. Okay, now we're at for 40% power. Okay, Fritz, we go to 80% power and we challenge the gods. Hey, Fritz, yeah, high more. And literally he was going through like, you know, with this thing with the engines roaring and the wings were going like this outside. Like that. It was, you know, pulling up through the clouds, looking at his radar and music, you know. And this lady next to me, she's afraid of flying. So she was white, as white as a ghost. She grabbed my wrist and I got it. I thought I was just gonna break it. And I wasn't very peaceful either, you know. And finally they pulled out of it. They made it out. Somehow they made it out. And then they had free drinks for everybody. And then I think the stewardess was going in the bathroom and covering the smoke detector and having a cigarette. So, yeah. So somehow or other, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Okay, yeah. So you cannot learn. You cannot learn this stuff because you've made this dedication to this Grihastha life and so on. So then finally, then he has a very, very nice, then Hiranyakashipu says, okay, these guys haven't been able to do it. My incompetent assistants, but I'm the number one guy. Yeah. Why were all the demons serving Kamsa? Out of love? Yeah, because he was a bigger devil than they were. That's why. Yeah. So at this point, Hiranyakashipu decides, I'm just going to take my sword and just chop your head off. How? Then he glorifies himself. Why, you fool, you idiot, don't you know who I am? I've conquered everybody. Then he says, you say that your Lord Vishnu is everywhere. Is he in this pillar? Yeah, okay. So one time in Los Angeles, they had a very, very nice festival like this. A little bigger down there than here. Okay. And I think it was Los Angeles. And then they would have a really good drama, really good dramas in Los Angeles. And of course, it's Hollywood. Some of the devotees actually are professional actors. Yeah. And the other side, New York, the best dramas I've seen. So they had a whole thing planned out, everything else. And they made a nice column out of cardboard, and decorated and stuff. And then one devotee was inside as during the Shinade. They put him in there, they put the glue back on and stuff. Yeah. So then they let the devotees come in, the whole festival's going on, then it comes time for the whole drama, they're having the drama. And then at that point, Hiranyakashipu, as the actor, hits it and says, where's your God, Prahlad? He's everywhere. The Narasimha was not requiring blind faith. No, he made his presence felt. So when Prahlad looked, he said, yeah, he's there. Yeah. So that's what he doesn't require, doesn't like blind faith. He's giving us all the help we need, all the information. If we have to engage in blind faith and fanaticism, something wrong there. Yeah, we know. I've done some really risky things, but on the basis of having experienced, yeah. I left the US for the first time to preach the second time, I had $50. going to a completely different continent and everything else. But it was like Krishna arranged it to show me, hey, you just travel and preach, I take care of everything else. It was just like, this has to be an arrangement. And yeah, it worked out. Everything worked out. So you get, was it Kurichak, Bahudak, Parivajak, Nishkriya, Hamsa. Yeah, so that was my began Parirajak. I learned, and Krishna is everywhere. It's the best hypothesis. So, then the devotee was Hiranyakashipu smashed on the pillar, and then the other devotee was supposed to pop out as when Nrsimhadev, and everybody would go, wow, incredible, this and that. And so the whole column kind of shook a little bit. And he said, as he in this pillar and hit it again, the whole thing shook again. And he said, as he in this pillar, and the devotee inside said, I can't get out. So they had to kind of like, everybody look, oh look, there's a unicorn, look at the unicorn. So there are different histories of organizing these festivals. We'll talk about Charudas. Okay, he established his place in Spanish Fork, which is not very far from Provo, where the university is. They got a radio station, so very systematic way of preaching everything else. And he'd been on traveling Sankirtan before there and discovered that the Mormons in that area was really good preaching area. Nobody's there, so they responded very nicely. So one of the main things he organized was, I think it was Ram Navami, or Ram Vijayotsava, was the end of Madhu's tour. And I was there a few times, and all these Mormon students would come, and they were so serious, asking me questions, and they could understand stuff. So they wanted to do the burn Ravana in effigy. So near the main temple area, they had a stage set up, and they did the whole drama. Hallelujah, one very athletic devotee was Ram, and very good. Okay, so now let's go kill Ravana. And so they had like maybe a 20-foot, 30-foot, 25-foot tall Ravana thing that my mother, my Bobby helped organize on cardboard and painted everything else, big mustache, And then they had these big speakers over there, and then they went on with the drama, and Ram was challenging Ravana, and he got big, and Ravana's voice was coming, and you think you can kill me, you worm, Ram, ha 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 ha. And there's all big speakers playing. And all of us had rocks that we could throw like that, like the monkeys. They made a real good sound. And then what's his name? Hallelujah had a fire on his bow. When it hit the cardboard, it made a real good sound, and it all started burning. So we're the monkeys, and we're throwing all these rocks and death to Ravana and all this kind of stuff. But they forgot to cut the grass. And it was summertime, and all the grass had dried out. So as the cardboard started falling, guess what happened? It started the grass to burn, and it would have burned like, Hare Krishna's burned down 2,000 acres of 15 houses. So all of a sudden, we're all sitting there screaming and running around and trying to beat up the grass, and the speakers were going on playing with lava and going, ha ha ha. So all this bravery. We got to put out, the fire department showed up, and they were laughing about, said next time cut it back, and it's 30 feet or something like that. You can do it, cut it back and stuff. And they have prasad and look at everything. So there are many different celebrations for these festivals, but they're very important. Just by these festivals alone, you can become fully Krishna conscious. Every day we have a festival. Come to Subal's house at 4:30 in the morning. There's a festival. And here also, community opportunity. That's how the community really gets together, by having Mangalartik together. Mangalartik, you establish your perspective, right? Your attitude. And on the basis of that attitude, then you think, make your plans, okay? On the basis of the plans, you do things. But that early in the Brahma Muhurta, you establish your perspective. Who am I? Who is Krishna? What's happening? Very important work. So then something appeared he smashed the pillar, and out of it came this blazing light, unbelievable effulgence, everything else. And Hiranyakashipu was like a moth disappearing into the sunlight in comparison to all this. The whole universe shook. But he was determined, and Prahlad was happy. So he started like attacking, and Hiranyakashipu and Lord Narasimha was fighting with him and slashing, and they were going on, exchanging blows and blocking. And Hiranyakashipu was moving so quick, he left no opening. Right? This is Jai and Vijay versus Narayan. This is why Narayan wanted a good fight. So it was a really incredible fight. And Hiranyaksha was knocked down, I think, and Lord Narasimha gave him a chance to recover, and he went at it again. Really incredible fight, describing it. So finally, then he took him outside. Where? Outside? In the veranda. Yeah. And he killed him on the ground? On his lap, which is not on the ground. And he killed him with a weapon? No, he ripped his intestines open. Then he was tossing his intestines all over the universe, chopping them up. So on this festival, you should have macaroni with tomato sauce. throw it everywhere like that. Who suggested this? Hanumat Presaka Swami. Typical. I have my reputation in Iskcon. Everybody's nobody's perfect. Everybody's got their reputation. If Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was here, he would like this. Otherwise, he makes everybody separate. All the boys over there, all the girls here. Stark sky. Okay, and then Lord Narasimha did all the followers attacked. He killed all of them. And then what happened?
Demigods and
yeah, everybody. It's a whole long list. So maybe then tomorrow night we can talk about all those prayers by different devotees. So we have a very natural festival. But tonight, just in 15 minutes, like that. Right now, I guess the fight's going on right now. Maybe you feel something in your heart. You feel your heart like it's healing itself. Stuff happening. Right? Yeah. And then after that, Prahlad offered his prayers, which is very, very, all the acharyas and everything else, looking at those. So we can really look at those then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as long as we're here, for this visit. That and so on. So it's a continuous process. We have a Morti of Nrsimha. Different people have given me different Mortis over time. Of course, I get a lot of Hanuman Mortis. But somehow or other, Nrsimha stayed with me. One devotee, Max Myers, he was a student at the California Academy of Art and everything else, becoming a devotee. He said when he saw Prabhupada, he saw the universal form, like, this kind of stuff. And he was visiting the gift shop in the Berkeley Temple. He saw Nrsimha and was attracted and stuff, and then came back the next week and was looking at it. And the girl wanted like, I don't know, $25 or something, He said, it's too much. No one's going to buy him. She said, you're going to buy him. So, yeah. And later on, he bought him and he was worshiping him. But he felt not qualified, so he asked me if I would take him. And then this is maybe like 1970, 78 or something, a long time ago, a little after that. So I've been, doing somehow or other, my Istadevata for so long, we've been through so many things. The World Congress for a Synthesis of Science and Religion, the second one was in Calcutta, and all these very prominent people coming and everything else, and so much work and so hot. It was like the hottest summer in 35 years, people said. My first summer in India. Yeah. And we didn't have money for taxis, so I was taking public buses in Calcutta and that kind of weather, and I was maybe like 10 kilos less than I am now. But Lord Narasimha was with us, and he was also hot. No, so we've been through so many things together. Where the arms are, where the what says symbols are, club, chakra, what else we got? Lotus and Chaitanya gives the different arrangements. So I think it's starting with the upper right. You get four possible for this one, then 3 possible, 2, 1, so you get 24. He is Janardana, according to the location of his things like that, protector of the people, and so on. So he always he's a sannyasi. My service is always in the morning. We wake him up, put him to rest, and offer food to him. And the puja in the morning is mostly manasa puja, verbally, like that, and so on. So I thought, well, we have to bring him, so we had to carry him on United Airlines. That was interesting because he was on the airplane, but it was smashing around like that. yeah, yeah. So maybe I'd have a simple lobby shake. Yeah. Anything else? Sometime. Yeah. Okay, so then today, and then we have that very nice Krishna Katha. And today, hopefully, we're going to kill the demoniac elements within our own heart a little bit more. It may take several years to do this and have even a better year in the future. Shri Shri Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Bhagavani Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Oh.